Ritchie, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us. Before we get on to your time at Morecambe, we're going to talk about when you first joined the club back in 2015. You joined the club in our first season in non-league. It was massive changes across the club, and there was so much ambition to get promoted in that season. What was it like when you first joined the club? Because I know that there was so much expectation from the fans. Was it the same when you joined the club behind the scenes?
Yeah, it was. Obviously, they'd just gone off the back of getting relegated from League Two, and when I came in, there was a lot of new faces added, but there was also a group of players there that had faced back-to-back relegation. So it was a difficult period, sort of getting that squad together and getting the right blend and mix of players to obviously get promoted back into the league.
And Gary Brabin in that first season as well. And it's fair to say he brought in a lot of the players who did eventually get us that promotion a few seasons later. What was it like working under Gary Brabin?
Yeah, he was good. He was firm but fair, and like I've said before, it was a very difficult position for him. The job that he'd taken on. I mean, having a club like Tranmere in the non-league was unheard of, really, and he had to sort of get a group of players together to be challenging. And I thought, obviously, when we did eventually get promoted, the team was a lot of Gary Brabin signings, so he's got a lot of credit to do from that. But that first season was always going to be difficult, simply because obviously it's a tough league to get out of. A lot of players hadn't played in that league, and it was finding that combination of players to get success, really.
I think it was difficult, especially in defence, because we brought in quite a lot of defenders, and I think you played right back for quite a few of the games too. So even yourself was being shuffled around quite a bit at the back.
Yeah, there was a lot of mixing around and finding things that work. I know Icky played right back. I played right back. Hogues played right back. Vaughan came in. I think Lois Maynard played right back, and it was just finding that back four and that combination to pick up results. So I think it was a tough one for everyone involved, because I've said before that there was a lot of different characters and a different belief of how we should do things, and it was just sort of getting to that stage where we settled down and we had a sort of an identity and everyone knew what they were doing. So I think, especially in that second season, we managed to find that.
Talk about identity. You left the club with an identity. Now, I'll go through some stats for you from the start of your career. We go Crewe, no goals. Leek, no goals. Stafford, no goals. Northwich, no goals. Halifax, no goals. Nantwich, no goals. Port Vale, no goals. Mansfield, no goals. Tranmere Rovers, 7 goals. Ritchie, what are you doing? 10 years to score a goal?
Yeah, I think it was a strange one. I mean, I think it was just, I was on a roll at Tranmere and things were falling for me, and I just had credit to Jacko and the gaffer for. We did a lot of work on set pieces and things like that, and I just had that knack of being in the right place at the right time. So once I got a few, I got sort of the confidence to sort of know where to go. So yeah, it was good. And since then, I've managed to score a few goals. I mean, I've got 2 this season, which is nice. So yeah, it's good to do a bit and chip in.
And certainly left the club as Ritchie Sutton, the goal machine. Have you got a favourite one you scored for Tranmere?
I think one that I've got a nice picture of it at home as well is the one away at Wrexham, where I sort of spun and whipped it in the bottom corner. But back when we did have fans in the ground, I think the picture with the lads jumping on your back and all the fans are obviously buzzing in the background, that was a nice moment, especially in a derby game as well, because they were always good games, and Tranmere Wrexham ones.
You were a part of the side that got us back to the Football League, Rich. Now, we spoke to many players about their experience at Wembley, but just talk us through as a player what it was like to be on that pitch, getting Sammy back to the Football League.
Yeah, once that final whistle went, I mean, it was amazing, really. I mean, the seasons were roller coasters, but especially the day was a massive roller coaster. I mean, the script that happened with obviously rides and then the injuries and things like that. It was just, once it had happened, you couldn't really believe it. But a lot of hard work went in, and there was a lot of good players in that group. So I think once everything settled down, the celebrations and stuff, I mean, we deserved it, which was great. But to get back into the Football League, that was one of the main reasons why I joined the club. I mean, I got offered a new deal at Mansfield before I joined Tranmere, but the project and the size of the club, and it was just something that I didn't want to turn down and I wanted to be a part of.
And of course, working under Mickey Mellon for the majority of your time at the club, were you surprised to see Mickey get offered the job at a high level?
No, not at all. I mean, Mickey, I still speak to him now. He's a good guy. I mean, not just football in terms. He's someone who you can always turn to, and it always helps you out in many different aspects in your life. And I think me as a player as well, before I came to Tranmere and Mickey Mellon came in, I mean, I was a different kind of player. I was more direct, more just known for being strong, solid defender. But he sat me down a few times in his first weeks, and he taught me through what he wanted me to do as a player and what he thought I was able to do, which was more of a playing out style and creating opportunities for the forward players. And it definitely developed me into a different kind of player, which I'm taking into my game now, because Altrincham, I don't know if many people have watched them play, but we're very possession-based and footballing, play out from the back team. So I feel without that development from Mickey Mellon, I mean, I wouldn't be the player I am now.
And you mentioned, of course, to Mike Jackson, who were probably one of the people you mentioned who helped you aim and get them extra goals to add to your career as well. Were you surprised to see Jacko get the job or even move into management?
No, I mean, I want to be a coach and a manager one day, and I had a few conversations with Jacko about sort of what he wanted to do and how he could help me in different ways. So I knew that he wanted the job one day. I think when Mickey went, it was with everything going on as well with COVID and stuff. I mean, he was natural for him to sort of fall into the role. So I was happy to see him get the job and have a go at management, really.
Keith Hill in charge of the club now, Rich. Slowly starting to put results together. 3 home wins back to back. Now, you've been involved in many of these promotion pushes, and how many times have we seen Tranmere at this stage of the season start to gain momentum in the second? Tranmere are a very famous second half of the season club, and can you see them doing it again this season with Keith Hill?
I mean, yeah, of course I can. I mean, obviously with Tranmere, it's the fan base and things like that. It pushed us when I was there through a lot of games. So it's disappointing they haven't got that atmosphere at the moment. But I've knowing the players, I've played a lot against a lot of the players that are in that squad at the Tranmere team now. So I know they're very good League Two players, and I'm sure with the right direction. I mean, I don't know Keith Hill very well, but he's got a good record, and I'm sure he can get the best out of the group.
Which brings us on to this coming Saturday against one of your former teams, the team you left Tranmere for, Morecambe. This weekend, some cracking performances from them this season. And then themselves, they pulled off some big scalps in this division. Yeah,
I mean, I would say I was surprised. Well, the third in the league, are they Morecambe now? But the group of players, when I left, they were a few players short of being a very good team. I mean, whenever a new manager comes in, Derek Adams, he has to put his own stamp on things, and he was definitely going in the right direction. And from the additions they've made, I mean, they're looking a very strong outfit now. I haven't watched them much this season, but I watched them against Chelsea game, which is a bit misleading. But obviously, he's getting the best out of people like Cole Stockton, who I rate very highly. They've got some good centre halves there, and yeah, it's good to see that they're doing well as well.
Well, I was about to mention Cole Stockton. Of course, he's the former Tranmere striker. We've not seen the best of him at Tranmere Cole Stockton, but he is a player who can get goals and a player with bags of talent.
Yeah, I think with Cole, he brings people into play very well, and I don't think sometimes fans see that. I mean, they like to see like pacey forwards and things like that, and exciting forwards. He's not that type of guy, but what he does do when he's got a good group of players around him, he brings so many people into play. He occupies centre halves, and the other people get the credit really. But yeah, I've always rated Cole. I've played against him, I've played with him, and he's a handful. And he's someone that as a defender, when it goes into, it's going to stick. So it's good to see that he's doing well at Morecambe now.
Yeah, very much so. In a difficult game this weekend for Tranmere, they look to make it 4 wins on the bounce. I think they could potentially, I might be wrong to say that, I think they can get third, Tranmere. So from being in the bottom half of the table 2 weeks ago to being third, it just shows how, even at this stage of the season, how close and compact everybody is.
Yeah, it's one of them. You go on a run after that Christmas period. You find yourself up there challenging, and then it's just about sustaining that, having a bit of consistency. So hopefully Tranmere can kick up there, and it's and getting them playoffs, if not getting that top 3. So yeah, it's good to see both clubs doing well, and I'm sure both of them, from what I've seen so far, will be up there challenging. And
yourself, Rich, weekend off this week. You mentioned you're now at Altrincham. They're in the playoffs in the National League. How are you getting on yourself this season?
Yeah, doing really well. I mean, enjoying the football. It's different having that adaptation from full-time to part-time, but the training is really good. The games are good, and we play football the right way. So it's... I think they had back-to-back promotions. I mean, 3 years ago they were in the Evo Stick League. So but being a part of the club now, I can see why they got success. And they play the game then right, and we're getting the good results at the moment.
And I think your local derby will be classed as Stockport County, who you're neck and neck with up there now, and obviously a lot of former Tranmere players at Stockport, so that'll be a nice challenge for you when you play them.
Well, yeah, we've played them twice already now, and over that Christmas period, we had them 2 games in 3 days. So they're another very good team. Yeah, like I say, there's Connor there, Lois, Hogs. There's a lot of good players there, and with their backing, I'm sure they'll be up there as well. But we certainly give them a good game, and hopefully, if we can keep our consistency going, and then we'll be challenging the top of the league as well.
As a player who's obviously played all this season, Rich, how have you found it with no fans with the COVID situation?
Yeah, it's one of, I think it's more the atmosphere than anything. It doesn't really affect performance. I think when you're in the game, you kind of forget about it. I mean, we played one game a few weeks ago where I think Dagenham, they were allowed fans in. So there was about 700 or 800 in there, and it was nice to have fans in. But once the game was going, you switch off to that really. So I think it's a difficult one for everyone, but everyone's adapting well, and especially us, it's not seemed to affect anything that we're doing in the results. So we're doing well, and yeah, hopefully we can continue that.
And of course, too, in the preparation, we were talking to Clint Hill the other night, and he was saying when he was at Fleetwood, the most bizarre place he had to get the team changed. He had to have half the squad in a bar and the other half the squad in the club shop to get changed to. Have you had any bizarre circumstances this season?
Yeah, well, we've been getting changed in like clubhouses and bars and different bits and bobs, but it's all part and parcel of it. I mean, we've just got to enjoy it. Like our manager keeps saying that I think the league's going to continue now, but I think a few weeks ago you've got to treat every game as if it could be your last one. But we've all done really well. Everyone's been really professional, and which I'm sure every player across the leagues are. So it's just the world we're living in at the moment, and hopefully when we come through it, it'll be great to have fans and stuff back in the games, because it does make a lot of games as well.
Brilliant, Rich. Thanks very much, mate.
Yeah, not a problem. Anytime.
Lovely. Thanks for that, mate. Appreciate that.